roll.
Counselor Lehman?
Here.
Counselor Matthew?
Here.
Counselor Larson?
Here.
Counselor Keithley?
Here.
Mayor Swanson?
Here. We will do our proposed budget. First department is the fire department.
I'm just gonna go through this and
All right.
Josh will jump in if there's any questions.
Sounds good.
The wages and salary increased due to the motion that was made about a month ago regarding increasing the fire chief and assistant chief to 300 for 2017. So that's the reason for that increase. Otherwise, everything pretty much stayed the same. And training services were bumped up, I believe because we have new volunteers for the fire department. Otherwise, everything's the same, and so that budget is at $45,424 for the fire department.
Yeah, there's no problem with that, because we did that increase. We
Why is-
we voted in the increase, so.
Why is the 2016 amount so low? Is that year to date?
The 14,000?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does it,
It's through September.
okay.
And the fire department people, they get paid quarterly, or the ambulance people get paid quarterly, and at the
Okay.
end of the year, the fire people are paid.
For the full
December.
year?
For the full year.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's what it
Makes
is.
sense. And
I
then
thought there
also
had to
in
be
the fall
something.
time, we do our pump testing and all that, so we have the bigger bills come out in this time of year. so.
Okay. All right.
In the second half.
Next page is the fire station, and that decreased by $890 because we don't have a phone service over there
I
anymore.
was just gonna ask about that. I remember Josh was talking about it, you guys were talking
I
about
haven't
it.
noticed any difference.
Yeah,
So
very
that
good.
budget's
Beautiful.
at $6,000.
Always nice when they can go down a little bit. All right. Community development.
That budget decreased, and we're down to $5,600. The main one is there for $3,500 is the hazardous housing expense, and that will be because I think we'll be having a few expenses for the demolition of the nursing home.
Yes.
So that's at $5,600.
Very good. Senior center.
Oh, I got one question.
Yes.
What, I'm sure you told me and I don't remember. What did we end up doing with that class reunion money, that 5,000?
That's in designated. We didn't budget any for that for 2016.
Right.
So that's in the 401 account, not in the general fund.
Okay, okay.
The senior center budget is at $9,950. It's pretty much status quo from previous years. Gas utilities were budgeted a little bit less because over the last couple of years we haven't
Gotten up to
gone
where?
up to the 5,000, so we took it down a little bit this year.
Very good.
We have money in there for repairs and maintenance, and every now and then we have a few repairs.
Right.
Dishwasher's breaking or.
Roofs. All right. Campground.
Campground is at 1,200. The main thing is the rentals, which is the porta potties. We have 2 of them there. A standard one and a handicap one. So.
I got a question for Dana.
Mhm.
Did that make any money this year? You know,
It made, I wanna say like $600 and some dollars. I haven't ran the report. I know last year it made $1,200, so last year was a really good year. This year with the weather,
maybe not.
well, there wasn't as many campers this year.
Yeah.
It was definitely a quieter
Okay.
year there.
Do you think that we might have to put some extra money in that repairs maintenance on the land part? Because we have to redo that road going in there
We're gonna have to do a
next
little
spring.
road work.
That road is in horrible condition going into the
Yes.
campground, and we're gonna need work here. I mean, we can do it with our own crew,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's still gotta be, it's gotta be accounted for. As far as monetary wise, hours put in and
If-
that kind of stuff.
I don't think for hours we have to, because that would come under their wages, but we'd have to if we're gonna use any kind of fill or supplies or
I'm
anything.
assuming that
Provide
class 5 is
materials.
gonna be involved, you know?
Usually we have some class 5,
Yeah.
but I can ask Trent to take a look at it and see what he thinks, how much it would need and what it
Right.
would need, and then we can,
Look at that when we do the final budget.
Exactly, because it's gonna take some doing, that road, I took a ride in that
It's
road,
bad.
it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bad.
it is. Keeps the traffic from going very fast.
Yeah.
All right.
okay.
Lake Leander,
Lake Leander, it's just, insurance and fees that we have to pay,
What are the fees again?
some taxes. Some fees for the county,
Okay, then the insurance, I assume, just liability.
yes, property insurance. So that's at $460.
it was an increase of $20. Okay. Community Center,
Community center is at $10,150. Standard cleaning, the majority of it is utilities. Electric, gas, and insurance. For property and liability insurance on it. And we still have a phone there, in case, you know, because it does get rented out every now and then.
right.
It's nice to have a phone there in case there's an emergency.
Now, the curlers aren't gonna be able to use it this winter, I hear, unless,
Last I heard, they were having somebody take a look at it, and they were supposed to
Okay.
have a meeting, was it last week? or-
Last week they had a meeting, I didn't make it, but,
Okay, yeah, and I haven't heard from them.
yeah, they haven't had, Rodrigo was supposed to take a look at it. It sounds like it's gonna fixable, but,
do we need to put some money into
well, that's
the
what
capital buildings?
I was looking at, repairs and maintenance, because I think they're gonna come and ask the city for some help. I know, was it 3 years ago? Was it, they had like $13,000 put in there. But that's not gonna be as much because they found a leak in the header system,
They did find the
Oh, they did
leak?
find it.
so we don't have to chip away the floor.
Oh,
That's
good.
Thank God.
Okay.
So that's why it's gonna be pretty,
Oh, good.
so it's still gonna cost, just an FYI.
To repair that head, yeah.
Well, I wonder if we should budget something in there,
I'm
500
guessing
or
that repair though
1,000?
would be this year, in 2016, so they can have a season, so.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah, and we still got over $5,000 is still in there,
In,
in the budget, in the account.
Yes,
Oh,
but that's
for the rest
because
of the year.
For the
heating
rest-
season hasn't really
Right.
started yet.
Right.
So
Right,
as
yeah.
soon as that starts, that will go up, but
And last year, the curling club did get painted the walls and stuff like that, so looks a little better down there.
It's just something we're gonna have to play by ear until we find out what that person's gonna charge for that header to be repaired.
Yeah.
Cause that's how we found the leak, was when there was gonna be an event down there, and then they went and turned the floor on to dry it up, and
right,
so the city's using it to dry the floor, and that's why
Okay.
they're gonna ask.
okay.
It'd be nice to get a report from them.
Well, I'm really glad to find out it was an easy fix. We've
Yeah.
had some good news lately, which has
Yeah,
been
right.
really nice.
Right. Good.
All right, well, that's the budget portion of our meeting tonight. Thank you, Diana. We'll move on to the reports. No,
Can't till 6:30.
why not?
Can we keep going?
well,
We called the meeting to order.
the meeting time was at
We
6 o'clock,
changed
and
it.
it was on the
Yeah,
notice
okay.
was for 6 o'clock, so we
I think we can roll right in.
Okay.
So we'll have reports from the department heads. Trent's not coming tonight,
Okay.
right?
I don't think so.
Well, he's ready.
I know he was out sick yesterday, he was
Oh,
feeling pretty sick today at work, so.
okay. Fire and ambulance, Jeff.
So if I start early, do I still get to go to my normal time? No, just wanted to touch base, we were talking about the budget, I kinda asked Diana if she'd just do the overview, she emailed me and I'm like, hey, you know, if you're willing to do it, that's great. We are gonna meet on our next businessman. Couple things we're looking at is maybe doing away with our caretaking position. The paid on call takes care of the hall, they take care of the rigs. We got it down to where if we hit it on our business meeting night and training night, we can get the fire department and the truck rent and that. So that could be, you know, maybe a savings of about $1,200. So we're gonna try to get that voted through at our next meeting. And then the other thing we're gonna look at too is it's that season where we're getting into refreshers for our EMTs, EMRs. After the first year, we'll be getting into them. In the past, it's always been if the person goes through the refresher, the state reimburses the ambulance service $275. We've always given that back to the person for keeping up their license. The other thing we're gonna try to bring up, or what we are bringing up at the next meeting, is for 2017, we want to look at changing that. Just, I'll reach out to you guys for some assistance on that, how we can do it. But we need to have people accountable, so if they're not actively going on ambulance calls, we don't feel they should be getting that $275 every 2 years. If the ambulance service has to pay to keep them certified and they're not using that certification, why should they get the stipend at the end? So, it's like we talked about in the past, how can you, but this is one way that we could kind of maybe keep low money in the ambulance fund.
Do you have many members that do
We got a
that?
few people that just, they make 1 or 2 calls a year.
Okay.
And, when we've implemented 15% rule, the only problem we got with that is they might not show up on the ambulance, but if we have a house fire, they're gonna be there, and we need all the bodies we got, and they're good on the fire side. But the drive for the ambulance side isn't there, so. So that's just kind of the 2 things that we're gonna have cooking over there. And then depending on how our elections go in December, it'll be the other item, so.
How's it looking?
I don't think anybody, I don't know. But
Okay.
we're up in numbers and that's good. And
Yeah, it is. You guys have been doing a great job.
yeah, it's been nice having coverage and, it's been our quiet time of year, which it's good, but it's also good when the pager goes off and at least now we got coverage, so.
Right. And you see them busy over there all the time when they're there during the day.
Hopefully the weather this week will be getting the yard cleaned up again and stuff, so.
Yeah.
But, and then like I said, in the past, we wanted, we're still trying to figure out how to do it, but we will be reaching out and trying to do some more community involvement, whether it's CPR classes, first aid classes. We got some people that are certified to teach the public on how to do it. Everything's relatively inexpensive. If people want to pick up their CPR certification or go through a first aid class, if they have, little ones or grandchildren and all that, they might feel a little more comfortable knowing some things, so.
Very
So
good.
hopefully next year we'll be able to have a list of that so we can put it out well in advance so the public knows. Oh, we did have one more person that we did interview after his background check came through, and that was all good. It was Clifford Warwas.
Oh.
We would like to see it get approval to put him through the physical and hire him.
Do I have a motion?
What was the last name again?
Warwas?
Warwas.
Warres. Okay, I'll make a motion that he continue with the application for Clifford Warres.
Support. I'm
All-
abstaining.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 1 abstention. Stuart? Is that it?
Questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Thanks, Ted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, engineering,
No,
long-range
no.
planning and zoning, recreation, you've got the minutes.
Covered.
Oh, long-range
Yeah.
planning and zoning, all right. I have an appointment that I'd like to make to long-range
Yes.
planning and zoning. That would be David Pervenanzi. He's expressed an interest in serving, so I would like somebody to make that motion.
I'll make a motion to put David Pervenanzi on the Long Range Planning and Zoning Committee. Support. Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
That makes all the committees full then, doesn't it?
It's going to, once we get the other 2
Yeah.
appointments in,
Yeah.
yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's good. All right, Recreation Board, you've got the minutes
Yeah,
in
I read
your
that,
packet
yeah.
from that. The Library Board will be meeting Thursday,
Thursday the 20th.
yeah. And then BETA end of the month. Don't
No
have anybody
sheriff.
from the sheriff's office.
He's on vacation.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Tar?
And Diana, do you have a clerk's report for us?
I do. I have really good news. The grant we applied for the demolition of the old nursing home, the IRRB has granted us that, or awarded us that grant. the grant we applied for was $81,667. We received $78,000. So we are in the process of getting bids. Our engineer will have bids for us at the November 1st council meeting to approve, and they can get started this winter.
Excellent.
So
Yeah.
Excellent.
that's the good news. Our medical plan, we met with our insurance agent and the union rep and the union, and we are changing our insurance plan. Not really, the coverage will stay the same, but the city will save $4,700, and the employees will also save a little bit of money as
Yep.
well.
Yes, it's a win-win.
Yeah, it is wins for both sides.
We're going to medical savings accounts for them so they can, is that what it's called?
Health savings account.
Health savings
He'll save
account.
the HSAs
Yep.
and stuff, yeah.
Beautiful.
So everybody will save a little bit of money and still
Yeah.
have good coverage.
Good.
All
Yeah.
right.
All agreed, all parties agreed.
And then I'll be conducting the public accuracy testing on October 26th at the senior center at 2 p.m. We have to do testing of all of our voting equipment.
Great.
Just to make sure it's all working properly. So that's all I
Very
have.
good.
Did you want to maybe touch on that deal about what happened with that roof at the senior center?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I haven't received any information from them, but I had called 2 companies to go take a look at the roof and to get quotes. One of them proceeded to fix it without asking permission.
Yep.
So they said they just, in good conscience, couldn't leave it like that, and so they patched it. They said more work still needs to be done. So he's supposed to be sending me a quote, but I let them know that, you know, this was not approved, and
Yep.
so we won't
In good conscience, we won't pay it.
be
Yeah, we
for
can't
it,
do good conscience.
because it wasn't approved.
It was
and
not?
We had no idea they fixed it until the second company went out there to look at it to give us a quote, and they're like, this is fixed.
Yeah.
So,
And the problem wasn't as bad as originally
Right.
anticipated,
Right,
where they
okay.
found some deteriorating
deteriorating
surface.
rubber, yeah.
Yeah,
Did Trent go up there and look?
Yes.
Okay.
seemed to be fairly isolated, so that was
That's
a,
where we're at in the senior center.
so lots of good news, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Council addition to the agenda? I don't think we have any, do we?
No, I just,
Oh, okay. Citizens forum? You're still not gonna talk to us? Okay.
No.
Consent agenda, minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting of October 4th.
I support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Claims?
I'll make a motion, we accept the claims for a total of $132,660.20.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right. Item 1 is the Walgreens flu shot clinic, which is,
Yes, Walgreens stopped by City Hall and wanted to know if we would want to do a flu shot clinic here in town as a community service event. I spoke to the senior center, I spoke to Rudy, and he said that yes, they would be interested in having it there at the senior center. They would let the people in, and we could advertise it. So he just said, no Tuesdays and afternoons are better.
and it's kind of a win-win. If they've got insurance, they pay. If they don't, it's free.
It's free.
Yeah.
So,
And did they give a date when they wanted to do that?
No, we would have to just work out a date that
Okay.
works for
Okay.
us and them at the same time.
so do we want a motion to move
Yes, please.
forward with allowing a flu shot clinic?
I'll make a motion that we have Walgreens do a flu shot clinic at the senior center. Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. A resolution regarding mutual aid assistance.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 16-30.
Support.
Any further discussion? This is a mutual aid agreement with MMUA. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Any abstention? What?
Roll call.
Oh, roll call. Okay.
Counselor Lehman,
Yes.
Counselor Matthew,
Yes.
Counselor Larson.
Yes.
Counselor Keighley.
Yes.
Mayor Swanson.
Yes. Okay, winter seasonal hires. The Recreation Board wants to start putting out advertising to hire our rink attendants for the winter. The minimum wage would be $3.50 an hour, so that would be the
How
rate.
much?
$9.50. Oh, I'm really doing good. $9.50 an hour. Look at this.
If we could get, if we
If
could
only
do
we could go back
350.
to that.
Yeah.
Well, you guys woke up anyway. $9.50 an hour. Do I have a motion to let them hire?
I'll make a motion that we go ahead with the rec board hiring winter help.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
let's-
We've got Trent here. Trent, our meetings are starting at 6 just because of the budgets for the next, through November. But since we did go through the department heads already, if you've got a report for us, would you like to do that at this time?
Sure.
All right.
I'm getting ready for winter. It's coming soon, sadly. We all our screenings for our sand. Salt should be coming this week sometime. Been trimming trees around town and around the roads and the alleys, things that get in the way of our equipment when we're plowing snow. We closed up the campground for the season for obvious reasons. We winterized the beach house, so we don't have any freeze-ups or anything like that.
Trent, we were talking about the campgrounds with the budget tonight and the road going in there and how rough that is. And so we're kind of thinking that next year we're going to need to have a little road work done in there, some grading and straightening it out a bit, taking off the rough edges and,
Again, we'll be gonna have to haul in a fair amount of material in order to fix it.
do we need to budget for extra material for that or,
I wouldn't know, but I think we should be fine. I
okay,
think we'll be fine.
okay.
And then, put lawnmowers away for the season. I hope the grass stops growing, it hasn't.
Yes.
It should be done now, I'm hoping. I know last time I had talked about the variable frequency drives for the water tower had come in. I got, his name's Bill Nieders out of Cook. He's done most of our work in the water tower, so he's very familiar with everything that's in there. So that should be, well, we need a guy with Wesco to come in and program it so it runs properly. And he's been out for personal issues for the time being, so we're kind of at a standstill at the moment. But once he comes in and programs, we'll get one of those drives online and pump running, and the other one will be switching over once the other one gets running properly. And then the only thing that's left with that Whiteside Avenue project is the wear coat.
Right,
And talking about it, they don't plan on putting it on until the spring.
Right,
So I'm really hoping that they reconsider that, because that's gonna be a pain during the winter plowing.
Well, most of the
Be really
streets they
careful.
did prior, Trent, they waited 1 year before they put the wear coat on. And that was always policy.
It's not a bad policy.
No, it isn't.
Let it settle.
Maybe a little more trouble for plowing, but
Yes,
if you have settling and now it's getting so cold that the wear doesn't like to go down like it should. So
You know more about
it ends up being your chance for failure down the road is far greater.
yeah.
I just know it's gonna be fun plowing.
Yeah.
well, it's just gonna be a little 2-block deal, you just have to go slow, take the
Luckily,
time.
it's not a huge.
Right.
Right.
Right. Worry
You
about
can
getting,
just imagine Wanless was done that way. The wear coat got put on a year later on Wanless.
They have the
And-
manholes and stuff down.
Yeah,
Don't they? They haven't.
They were
Well,
raised.
there's some places where we'll definitely have to be careful.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll have to go slow.
I wonder if we tried talking if they are up, if maybe the contractor would come and
Well,
taper into them.
They tapered in some places, but other places,
They did.
it's iffy. It might be fine, but we'll see.
oh boy.
Yeah.
Dig or
By
snow.
spring, they may be sticking up farther.
Yeah, it's,
It's a test, Trent. It's just a test, yeah.
hopefully we pass.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yep.
All right, thank you,
Thank
Trent.
you.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll move on to our next agenda item. I will be resigning from the Parks and Rec Board because we have 2 people who are interested in coming on, and I will gladly step aside to have more people on that board.
I'll make a motion that we accept Mayor Swanson's resignation from the Parks and Recreation Board.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for serving.
Oh, you
Yeah.
bet. Opposed,
When no one
motion
else
carried.
would.
Well,
Sorry.
I'm glad to see people stepping forward. I get excited to see new people and different people coming onto these boards. And I had talked a while back to Chris Henson in town here. He's done a little work for the city recently too, but he's been involved with different activities with our library and with our rec department. He and Dave Pervenanzi have both let me know that they'd be interested in serving on Parks and Rec, so I would like to appoint both Dave Pervenanzi and Chris Henson to the Recreation Board.
I'll make the motion to accept them both to the Parks and Recreation Board.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Purchasing policy. We had a discussion about this last week, so
We
just...
did. I did find a purchasing policy in our policy book that would allow department heads or the clerk to be able to purchase an item that is needed before a council, the next council meeting. The only thing that I saw was that the clerk would be allowed to encumber up to $10,000 in an emergency on like a street project, if it was an emergency and there wasn't going to be a council meeting. Or a policy where employees couldn't use Buhl's purchasing power to purchase personal items for themselves. So I found kind of a template that I revamped as for a purchasing policy. It's maybe more than what we talked about. It's a little bit lengthy, but it breaks it down, all down, so.
Makes it pretty specific.
It is,
Yeah.
it is. But I mean, if there's something that, you know, that's not budgeted for and is over $1,000, it has to go to council. But if it's something that's, you know, the street department, for example, has money in their budget to buy class 5, then should they, you know, do they need to come and get permission to buy material or a tool because it's in the budget if it's under $1,000? Or, you know, the printer goes in the office and a printer's needed.
Yeah, when it's an emergency, something that is
Right.
right now, can we just take care of this? And
Right.
then it's still gonna come before the council for
Right,
final
for
approval
claims,
and,
Yeah, yeah, everything for claims has to get approved, but this is just saying,
that you have enough,
when we need it and there's not gonna be a meeting,
you have enough confidence in your city clerk that she would make good decisions if we needed something for the city. And I remember when we went through this with Mike, and
Yes.
and we wanted to give him
Yeah.
the authority up to $10,000, and he
For
was like,
street projects, yeah.
Then he, yeah, whatever.
Myself, I don't see anything wrong with up to that $1,000 as far as letting department heads just go ahead, you know. And of course, clerk, office. It goes through a channel no matter what,
Right,
you know.
well, yeah. And we'll see any spending that occurs, and if there's anything questionable, we can always
Certainly.
address that sort of an issue again, too.
Any motion?
So,
I'll make a motion to adopt a purchasing policy.
to accept the purchasing policy,
Support.
okay? Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right, we had this property that we've had listed, and only one bid came in, which I'm shocked at. But the bid is from my daughter and her husband, we have no financial part of this, but for the sake of this item, I am going to step away from the chair and leave it up to the four of you to discuss and decide what.
I talked with the mayor earlier before the meeting, and my biggest concern was they wanted to have the rezoned to commercial.
Correct.
So I asked what were they planning to do for commercial, and what they're gonna do, they wanted to put up a storage building there in the back. Now, not deal with all the little garage doors on, nothing like that. This was gonna be a bigger building, like for people storing snowmobiles, boats, what have you, maybe mobile campers, you know, that kind of stuff. But that was their intent as far as for why they wanted it zoned commercial. And my next question would be, why would it have to be zoned commercial for that? And I looked in the book a little bit, and it's no different than somebody having a bigger garage here in town. They got it on residential.
But if they're renting out, then it may
Yeah.
have to be.
Charging for a service.
Business.
So we have people in town renting out. You know, I understand what you're saying here, but
I don't know, that's kind of for planning and zoning to,
yes,
Mhm.
we will, if we have to, we'll call a special meeting.
Yeah.
And we'll discuss it, and we'll make a recommendation to the council.
Okay.
And it'd be nice if we could maybe get together and have that meeting before November 1st, at our next council meeting.
Well, it'll have to be published in the paper.
Yes.
We'll have to have a public hearing,
Yep,
and all the residents that live within 350 feet will have to get a letter
yes,
notifying them. so.
yep, yep.
and that would be after the planning and zoning meeting.
Well, there would be a public hearing first, and then the planning and zoning
Oh, okay.
It would be encompassed all in that same
would
evening.
meet after the hearing to make their recommendation, and then the recommendation will go to
Right.
the council.
And of course, prior to doing that, have to notify these people and tell them that monetary wise, they're responsible for that advertisement in the paper and stuff.
Right.
And see if they still go along with it, so.
I guess it's the only bid we got, and if it's gonna bring in tax money on
Oh, I
that
agree.
property.
Yes, I agree. I agree. I guess the only thing I would like to also know is, like we always ask people, what is the size of the building gonna be? How big? You know, it'd be,
And that will be discussed at the long-range planning and zoning.
yep.
Okay.
This is just, we need a motion to approve the bid, to accept the bid that we received for the property.
Okay.
I'll make the motion that we accept the bid for the France location property for $5,000.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. We got a closed session.
Okay.
Now we are, okay, I need a motion to go into closed session for discussion for personnel.
I'll make a motion that we end the regular meeting so we can go into closed session for personnel.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay.
All right, can I have a motion to open the regular meeting?
I'll make a motion that we open the regular meeting.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. It's 10 minutes to 7. We've ended our discussion, and I think I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll
That's
make a
it.
motion that we adjourn our regular meeting.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. This meeting is adjourned.